Hi everyone, welcome back to Fat Bread, where today I will be making fresh pasta. This is my first time, so please like and subscribe. Well, in order to build a very good first homemade pasta, you're gonna need a cup of flour and 2 eggs. You also need just some extra flour just in case. Well, the first thing you want to do is grab a fork or any utensil, a spoon, or maybe even an egg to make a well in the middle of your pile of flour. Next, what you want to do is make sure the well is deep enough to fit 2 eggs. If it's not deep enough, the eggs might just leak out. Next up, you want to pour your 2 eggs into the pile of flour. As you can see, my egg whites are leaking out, but if that happens to you, don't panic. You can always scoop it back into the flour later. Now, as you can see, we have this very simple dough that can be used to make pasta. What you want to do is gather all the leftover flour and start kneading it with the dough. Now, sprinkle some flour on the top as you knead it. Use all your strength so that the dough will taste very nice. Making homemade pasta is very tiring, time intensive, and requires a lot of energy and strength to make. Well, but if you really enjoy the taste of freshness and you really enjoy the taste, a good aftertaste in your mouth, you should make some homemade pasta. It's not really that hard and it's worth it. Now sprinkle some flour onto your dough, rub it on, and make sure it's a good smooth round ball. Of energy for this, push down and roll. Well, you can also use a pasta maker, but I don't have that, so I will be using a rolling pin. Here's two very important tips for you. Dust your workspace, your bench, your desk, whatever you're making the pasta on. And for me, that's my kitchen countertop. Next, what you want to do is also dust your rolling pin both with flour. Once it's dusted with flour, it will be very, the dough won't stick to it very easily. Roll it and make sure that if there are different layers, roll it really hard to make sure all the layers are even. Keep on rolling, and even though it gets tiring, don't give up. This is my first try on pasta, and I didn't believe how hard it was. And I always thought it was, wow, it's gonna be such an easy project. Maybe I should just record this, and it'll be a great success. But after rolling it for a while, I realized, oh my god, this is so tiring. And I just hope that the taste of the fresh pasta in the end will be able to fast, normal pasta that is in like packets and you can find in supermarkets. And nicely rolled up. What you don't want is when you lift it up, the thing starts breaking and separating apart. That shows that your dough is too thin. And if that really happens, pinch the two sides of the opening together and spread some flour over it and roll it. I've lifted my dough up and there were holes. So what I want to do is heat it and join the two ends together to ensure that it is thin enough. I also want my dough to be rolled out paper thin so that I can have a good pasta and not have it very undercooked. Keep rolling and don't give up. Although it might seem very thin, trust me, when you start to cook it, the thing gets thicker. And this can feed about 3 people. 2 eggs and 1 cup of flour can feed about 3 people. It's pretty impressive and it's very natural. Now, after you've rolled it finished, you want to spread some flour on one side to fold the dough up so that it's easier to cut. Once you spread flour on one side of the dough, you want to fold it and keep repeating the same steps until you have a very thick layer that looks like a Japanese snack called mochi. Make sure flour is spread all around so that the sides will not stick and it will not become very thick. Instead, will produce very long strands. Next, once your dough is thick enough and cannot be folded anymore without breaking, you want to get a sharp cook's knife, and you also want to get a cutting board to not damage the countertop you're on. Place the dough on your cutting board and start slicing. As you can see, the first strand is done. You should always check your first 3 strands to ensure that it's not too thick. If it is, you can unroll your dough and roll it even more. Start slicing and it will look very satisfying. Make sure to use enough energy but not too much so as to not damage the dough. And whenever you cut the dough, use the claw method, which I am doing, so as to not chop off your fingers. One of your fingers will be stuck outside so that the knife knows where to go. Make sure your slices are evenly sliced, and if it's too thick, you can always slice it in half. As you can see, it's extremely satisfying. After you're done with this step, raise the pasta and drop it to ensure and spread the noodles. Finally, you are done with the noodles of your fresh pasta. Now, time for cooking. Bring your water to the boil first. Next, put in your noodles and start stirring. Your noodles are fresh, thus they will cook faster than normal pasta. So stir it and make sure it doesn't clump together. Also make sure you don't over or undercook it. Keep stirring to ensure that your dough doesn't clump together. Turn the heat on for too long or too high, so you won't burn your pasta. Also make sure to keep stirring so your pasta won't clump to the bottom of your pot. Finally, I'm done with my pasta. Now I'm gonna take a taste. I have put on some tomato sauce and garnished it with cheese. It's about a 5 out of 10. A good try for my first pasta. I think I'll only get better from here. Bye!